welcome back to my YouTube channel, Turning Grief into Growth. I'm Jen Santiago. It has been sweltering here in Northern Virginia. I think it's 100 degrees outside, but I am on my yoga deck and you access it through this beautiful shaded bamboo forest. It's over the creek. So I'm feeling pretty good out here. I'll probably still get a little sweaty as I'm talking. I had my Summer Solstice yoga retreat over the weekend. It consisted of grief coaching and also a grief circle. And I have learned so much from that experience. And today I want to present the top 3 lessons that I learned from this whole grief coaching experience. And maybe this will be something that will help you if you are a grief coach yourself, or if you're looking to coach or help a friend of yours or family member who's going through a tough time. So here's number 1. Grief speaks in symbols. Here's what I mean. I had asked all my participants to bring with them a object, a letter, a picture, something that was a way to materialize their grief. As a matter of fact, I talked about it in my last YouTube video right here when I was holding this weird looking donkey to explain why this thing symbolized my grief. You can check that out after this one. But what I discovered from that experience was extraordinary. It was actually so moving. So one of the grief circle participants brought a pair of shoes from her childhood. They were actually her first shoes as a toddler. And I don't know how they survived all those years. Her mother and father each had one. Now, she lost both of them, and they had divorced when she was very young. So she found one of those shoes first years ago when she was cleaning out some things after her mother passed. And then she found the second shoe when she was cleaning out a drawer after her father passed. So she brought those to share the story of her grief. It was extraordinary. Everyone was so moved by it. And remember, like a grief circle, it's not a place where I am offering advice or any sort of judgment. It's a place where we share. So this was a fantastic moment, an opportunity to just share. And it really opened up some curiosity and some additional storytelling. One other participant brought a letter to Santa that her father had written in red ink. And she was so moved as she was reading it, she couldn't even make it through the whole letter. Another beautiful symbol of her loss. And it was also really interesting to witness how many people who had lost parents brought symbols from their childhood, not something from recent days, but something that attached them to that parent-child relationship that I just thought was really moving and really interesting. So bottom line is, I was wondering about this, whether this experiment would work, asking people to bring something with them to symbolize their grief. And it really did work. It was an opening to storytelling. All right, number 2, the second lesson that I've learned is that we don't just grieve the people that we've lost. Sometimes we grieve people when they are still present in our lives. I'll give you an example. I had a one-on-one coaching session with a woman who has been married for 50 years and her husband recently fell extremely ill. He's in hospice. So he is a shadow of his former self, right? He's not the man that she remembers for all the years that they've spent together. And so she's grieving him even before he has passed. She's also grieving his passing before he has passed. So it's almost like current grief and anticipatory grief. It's really complicated and so sad. But we got to talking, and what I noticed, oh wow, this is another lesson. So like bonus lesson is that I might be the coach, but I'm not the guide at all. The client is the guide. People will sit down and just start talking, or someone will just sit there paralyzed and I have to sort of draw stuff out, right? But every session is so different depending on the person in front of me. Okay, that was a little bit of bonus. Back to what I was saying, and sometimes we don't grieve the people that are gone, but we grieve them when they are still here. I can relate to that. My mother, when she passed, was suffering from Parkinson's, so she had been sick for a long time. That's not even what took her. It was lung cancer. This woman never smoked a cigarette in her life, but lung cancer that took her. And when I finally made it home and she was just really, really sick, she too was just unrecognizable almost, right? So sometimes we grieve people before they have left us. But what we were able to figure out together was what could she do to hold on to his memory. And we decided that they would start writing each other love letters. So he's in hospice and he's still lucid. He can still write. So she's asked him to write her love letters and she's doing the same. And it's something that she'll keep with her forever. And also something that she's going to share with her children and her grandchildren. So grief is not just about the people that we've lost. Sometimes it's about the people that we are going to lose. And grief is not just about death, right? We can grieve a whole lot of things. There was someone that I coached this weekend that was grieving the end of a marriage, and it wasn't the person necessarily, right? It was the marriage unit. It was the traditional family that she was grieving. It was her place as a wife and mother that she was grieving. So grief looks very, very different. I mean, and we all experience it. We just experience it in different ways. And last but not least, number 3, the third lesson, grief needs gentle witnessing. No fixing, no advice, no judgment, just witnessing. Some people just need to talk. Maybe their grief is brand new and they haven't quite processed what it is that they're grieving or feeling. Let me take that back. They know what they're grieving, right? But they haven't really found a way to express it. And sometimes people are still in shock or still in denial or so angry that they haven't really been able to process their thoughts. So if you just sit with them and let them let them talk it out, sometimes that's really, really helpful. Also, talk therapy might not actually be what someone needs. There was one woman that I was working with one-on-one this weekend, and the minute that she sat down, she just started sort of like heavy sighing. And I realized that she needed breath work. And she was instinctively doing it. She knew she needed to sigh this out. So we worked on that. We did a whole lot of breath work. We went for a walk in nature because we were on a farm and it was absolutely beautiful. And that got her talking some more. Releasing through the breath and with movement allowed her to access places that she couldn't quite go when she first started because she was so stiff. So yeah, gentle witnessing, I think, is the third lesson. And it's a lesson for anyone who's trying to support someone who's grieving. Don't try to fix them. Ask questions, but don't offer advice. Please, whatever you do, do not tell them that their loved one would have wanted them to do X, Y, or Z, or that all things happen for a reason. None of that. Just sit and listen to them. Be with them in their grief. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, be with whoever you are trying to support in their grief. That is the best thing you can do for someone who is experiencing a loss, especially a traumatic loss. Oh, forget that. Any sort of loss. Just be there for them and listen to them. So, bonus, fourth lesson, I guess, is that I need to do this again. I need to hold another grief circle and I need to continue with this coaching. I've also learned a lot. So this is also really healthy for me on my grief journey 10 years in, because I'm learning a lot about myself and my own process too. So yeah, this is definitely reciprocal, this whole support thing. And look, healing happens in a community. So, what's the lesson? The lesson is I need to do this again. So I am going to post, when I have the dates, my next grief circle. It's going to be at the end of July. It is going to be at another beautiful farm, although I'm going to have a smaller circle right here on my yoga deck, right here, where it'll be shaded and cool and gorgeous, but I can only fit, I think, 3 or 4 people here. So if you're interested, if you live in Northern Virginia, please subscribe to my channel and reach out. Send me an email or put something in the comments. Let me know what it is that you are looking for. If you're on your own grief journey, and if I can help, I do one-on-one coaching sessions as well. So you can get in touch with me and we can set that up virtually if you're not in Northern Virginia. But yeah, that's the lesson that I learned from this weekend. Another one, my takeaway is that I'm going to continue to do this. And I really appreciate your time as always. I hope this was helpful to you on your grief journey. And thanks for tuning into Turning Grief into Growth. Until next time.